If you've ever looked up at the night sky and wondered how it all might end, you're not alone. Today, we're digging into a question that's haunted humanity for centuries. How will the world end?
It's true, every era seems obsessed with its own version of the apocalypse. Some blame science, some blame prophecy, others just let their imaginations run wild. But we're going to break down the most fascinating and frightening scenarios.
I'm Alex, and I'll be guiding us through everything from astronomical slow burns to humanity's own mistakes.
And I'm Jordan. By the time we're done, you'll know the science behind the sun's demise, the odds of a killer asteroid, how climate change plays into it all, and why the real ending could be stranger than fiction.
So buckle up for a roadmap that spans billions of years, a few catastrophic surprises, and maybe even a glimmer of hope at the end.
Let's start with the slowest countdown you can imagine, our sun aging. Scientists agree it's going to eventually expand into a red giant.
What's wild is that there's no bang, just a gradual swelling over billions of years. Earth would either get engulfed or just roasted into a lifeless rock.
And the idea that everything we know could just fade out over unimaginable time, it's almost harder to picture than sudden destruction.
It's so distant, most people kind of shrug it off. But it sets the baseline. Our planet has an expiration date, even if it's unimaginably far away. But let's pull things closer to home. People get really interested when you bring up asteroids, because those can end things fast.
Totally. Just look at what wiped out the dinosaurs. Even a modest asteroid could make our lives very difficult very quickly.
That's why NASA keeps an eye on near-Earth objects. The odds are tiny, but the impact would be massive, literally.
It's kind of comforting, though, knowing we're tracking these threats. But it doesn't mean we're invincible. Space is unpredictable. Speaking of threats we actually have data on, climate change is already in motion. It's slower than an asteroid, but the consequences could be just as devastating.
Sea levels creeping up, heat waves, wild weather, it won't wipe out the planet overnight, but it could break down societies long before the last sunset.
I think that's what makes it scarier in a way. It's not a single event, but a long unraveling one that's already begun.
And it's one disaster where our choices right now actually matter. We're not just spectators, we're in the driver's seat. Now, when it comes to speed, nothing rivals a nuclear war. It's almost chilling how much power we have to end everything ourselves.
That's what keeps me up at night. Not space, not the sun, but our own creations getting out of hand. Nuclear arsenals, runaway AI, new diseases, the threats are multiplying.
And the scariest part might be what we can't predict. There are always wild cards, new tech, cosmic phenomena we haven't even seen yet.
So the end might come from a direction we're not even watching. That uncertainty is both terrifying and kind of awe-inspiring. But what if it's not about total destruction? Maybe humans adapt, evolve, or even leave Earth behind before any of these scenarios play out.
That's the optimistic angle. Maybe the end is just the beginning of something else. Colonies on Mars, digital consciousness, who knows?
It's almost as if the world ending isn't inevitable, but open-ended. We might be able to rewrite the story if we're smart and lucky enough.
And that puts the focus back on us, right? The future depends more on our actions now than distant cosmic events. So to wrap this up, here's what stands out. First, the sun guarantees a distant end, but we have far more immediate threats to worry about.
Second, the world might not go out with a bang. It could be a slow collapse or even a transformation, depending on our choices.
And third, not all threats come from nature. Human-made disasters and unknowns could shape our destiny just as much as cosmic forces.
If there's one thing to do next, it's this. Get informed and get involved. Whether it's climate action, supporting science, or just learning more, our choices matter.
Thanks for exploring this wild, unsettling question with us. However, the world ends or changes, it's humans who will help write that final chapter.